Hello everyone and welcome to the 1970s Muscle Car Challenge on our BN channel. So this is a very unique challenge because I've been asked lately to make a muscle car challenge. I mean not only lately, I've been asked so many times to make a muscle car challenge, but I've been ignoring it so I can make a proper prize for the winner, because making a muscle car in automation game, it's not really an easy thing, because the wheels spin, the old technology, and you know how much power you can use of an engine. Because well, you can make a super engine and then with very high power output, and then you will find that you can't really drive the car. So it needs some time to make the proper car to present it as a prize for the winner, and I did. So we have two, actually not only one prize, we have two prizes that I will be talking about in a minute. So the 1970s Muscle Car Challenge is a very unique challenge because as always you have a 1 week to make your car and submit your .car file from the date of releasing this video, which is what's the date today? It's the 17th of November. Wow, tomorrow is actually my birthday. I don't know what the family is planning. Alright, so alright, 17th, it's the 17th of November, so you have a 1 week to submit your .car file. Let's see, the rules are very simple. I mean, I've taken the liberty of making some not really hard rules. I mean, these are actually very normal rules. I mean, because I want everyone to participate in the challenge. I want to see some crazy creations. I mean, not only crazy, I mean beautiful also to look at, because well, you can make anything in an automation game, absolutely anything. And I want to see some really good looking muscle cars. So let's see, the rules are very simple. The production year, which is the most important rule, is of course 1970. Well, you can use any coupe body or a sedan body or a pickup body, as you can see in this car here that I will be talking about at the end of the video. So coupe, sedan, or a pickup truck body. V engines only are allowed. I mean, you can only use a V engine. I don't care if V6, V8, V10, V12, V16, all these V engines are allowed only. No inline engines. I know some of you will say in the comment section, well, of course there were some inline 6 muscle cars. Well, that's true, but a true muscle car should always have a V8. Or maybe a V10 in some cases, but it's up to you. You can use a V6, you can use a V8, you can use a V10, 12, or 16 if you want. If you can put the power down, well, you can use it. Why not? It's allowed. Only V engines. Now, moving on, the chassis. You can choose any chassis you want, any suspension design you want, and of course any chassis material you want. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the chassis and body. Moving on, the next bit, which is of course the engine. You can choose any engine you want, any V engine you want, with any setup and any horsepower output you like. Now let's see the intake. You can choose a standard intake or a performance intake only. No race intake and no race exhaust system. That's very important. So no race intake and no race exhaust system. The fuel, my friend, is 92 leaded fuel. Yes, some of you will say, well, why not choosing 98? Because well, it's very expensive. Leaded fuel. I know in the olden days, the fuel, or gas as the American call it, it was very cheap. And I want to run these cars on 92, and you can get great horsepower from a 92 leaded fuel. 98 is just too much. I mean, why do you want a 98? Because then you will have really super powerful engines that you really can't control. So 92 is the best option, and that's the only fuel allowed. 92 leaded fuel. Alright, what's next? Let's see, the engine. Now the engine finish, intake, exhaust, and fuel. Alright, perfect. Now moving on, the gearbox. Well, of course you can choose any gearbox you want. Of course you have only 2 options, which is manual or automatic. It's up to you. You can choose whatever you want. The drive mode, of course, rear-wheel drive. I mean, can you imagine a muscle car with front-wheel drive? No, that's really not allowed. So only rear-wheel drive with any gearbox and any differential you want. It's up to you, my friend. Let's see, next. The tires. You can choose hard long life tires or medium compound tires. These are the only 2 options allowed. Any rim material you want, any width size, rim size, it's up to you, my friend. Moving on, the brakes. Now this I will answer a very huge question. Let me first talk about the brakes. So the brakes, you can choose any brakes, any brake option you want, drums, discs, it's up to you. Brake pad, the sizes, it's up to you, my friend. Now this is a extremely important bit. Please make a car with 0 brake fade. Some of you in the comment section will tell me, well, all the cars, you know, all the cars, they do have some brake fade at any moment. That's correct, but not my cars, not the cars on this challenge, because, well, this is a challenge. It's not going to be easy, and I want to make it a little bit difficult. So 0 brake fading. I don't care what kind of brakes you will use, as long as all the 3 categories, the drivability, sport, and utility, all these 3 are on 0% wheels brake fading. Sorry, 0% brake fading. So the next thing is the seats arrangement, I think. Maybe. No, I think aerodynamics. So aerodynamics. Alright, so aerodynamics, my friends. Aerodynamics. Alright, you can choose any under tray you want. Any if you have a spoiler or something, it's up to you how much degree you want to put on the spoiler. And of course, as usual, the engine cooling airflow, should be at least like the minimum. This is the minimum, which is 50, and maximum 100. It's up to you, my friend. You can choose any option you want, because 50, that's default, the default setting for the engine cooling. So yes, 50 is minimum, 100 is max. The brake airflow, my friend, should be always 100%. Also, don't tell me in the comment section below that I don't want to put brake ducting. No, you have to use them. Those are the rules. Moving on, the seats arrangement, 4 seats only, not 2 seats and not 5 seats, only 4 seats only. 2 at the front, 2 at the rear, and proper seats, not those tiny ones. Any interior option you want. You have to use power steering, of course. It's a muscle car, it's a heavy car, you have to use a power steering, power steering, of course, which is, I think, hydraulic. That's the only option. Yeah, that's the only option. Automation game in 1970s. And moving on, any safety option you want, but remember, you have to use safety. Don't choose none. And now moving on, the suspension, you can choose any suspension style, any springs, any dampers. It's your only it's your own choice, my friend. Now you have made your car, you're happy with it, and yes, now you have to make sure that it follows the rules. So the rules are that you have to follow. The drivability should be above 30. The sportiness or the sport points should be above 15. The comfort points should be above 15. The prestige points should be above 30. The safety points, yes, the car should be safe. The safety should be above 40. Now the reliability should be above 60. Alright, now the final point, which is the eco or the mileage. Well, it's up to you. It's up to you. You can choose 0 mpg, or maybe, I don't know, 0.1 mpg, all the way to, I don't know, 1,000,000 mpg. It's up to you, my friend. But remember, the higher you go with these, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, the higher you go with these 7 points, the higher the chance your car will be driven at the final video. Because as always, I'm gonna choose only 15 or 20 cars, depending on the total numbers of participants. Yes, because I don't want to make the final video like an hour long or 2 hours long. That's why I'm gonna choose only 15 or 20 cars to drive, depending on the total number of participants. So the higher you go with these 7 numbers, the higher your car is drivable, the more sporty your car is, the more comfortable your car is, the more, for example, prestige your car is, the more safe your car, the more reliable, and the more efficient. The higher total number will be, and the higher chance your car will be chosen to be driven and filmed at the final video. And of course, because the 15th or the 20th cars that I will be choosing, the quickest one of those 20 or 15 cars will be chosen as the winner of this challenge, the quickest one, and the best one, of course, that with the highest numbers, with the highest total number. And the final rule, which is $20,000. That's the maximum price. That's the maximum price for your car on zero margin, 0% margin. And also, please don't tell me in the comment section, on zero margin, that's not realistic. I know it's not realistic. I really know. But, well, this is a rule. When I want a car to cost on zero margin, $25,000. That's the maximum price. You can't exceed that. Alright, moving on. What else? The car production unit, which is an extremely important rule. The car production unit should never ever exceed 90. That's the limit. 90, no more than 90. That's the production units. The car engineering time should never exceed 25. Yes, my friends, 25. Now, the engine production unit should never exceed 50. The engine engineering time, it should never exceed 40. Perfect, right? Now, the deadline of the challenge. Let's talk before we talk about the deadline. Let's talk about how you can participate. So, of course, make your car, test it in BeamNG.drive if you have BeamNG.drive. If you don't have BeamNG.drive, it's okay. Don't bother yourself, my friend. But of course, if you have BeamNG.drive, please make sure your car is very, very good to drive. Don't give me a car with really, really bad, for example, like a car that will oversteer so much, or maybe understeer so much, or maybe, for example, overspin at high speeds and crash, or maybe a car with brake fading, a car that can easily crash. I mean, test your car, make sure your car is really, really fast, quick, drivable, and well, not super loud. Make sure your car is, you know, good loud. I mean, it has a very, very nice noise coming out of the engine, not like a racing engine. No, make it good, very good. Sounds like sporty V8, muscly, like that, muscle, biceps, triceps, you know, you get the image. So let's see the deadlines. So let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. All right, 24th. So today the video has released on the 17th of November, and your deadline is 6 p.m. at the 24th of November. The 24th of November, which is Saturday. 6 p.m. plus 3 GMT time. That's my local time. Plus 3 GMT. That's the deadline. You should make your car within a week. You know, test it. Don't rush it. Take your time. Take your time. Don't rush it and make it like in 5 minutes. No, take your time. You know, plan your car. Plan how much horsepower you want to put, how much torque you want to put, what kind of engine. Take your time, my friend. You have a week. Make your car and of course submit your .car file. To submit it on my Discord submitting page. The link in the description below. Press the link and submit your .car file over there. And of course, as I've mentioned, I will pick only 20 or 15 cars depending on the total number of participants. Only the best 15 or 20 cars, and the quickest one of those 15 cars or 20 will be chosen as the winner of this challenge. Alright, so the prize now, which is very, very important. You have two amazing cars. Look at those beautiful cars. The first one is called the Puncher. Yes, the Puncher, because well, it will punch you in the face. This thing is a very, very amazing looking beast. Look at it. This thing has a 440 cubic inch naturally aspirated twin carbureted V8 or overhead cam, 400 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. Rear-wheel drive, 4-speed, 4 on the floor manual, of course. Drives extremely quick, very amazing to drive, and has super great noise coming out of the engine. The second car, or the second prize, it's called the El Caballo. Yes, I'm not kidding. It's called the El Caballo. Let me show you the name. The El Caballo, which means the horse. Yes, my friend, the horse. This thing has a 385 cubic inch V8, naturally aspirated, but this one has an overhead valve V8, a proper one with a single 4-barrel carburetor. This thing is making 385 horsepower and 385 pound-feet of torque. So yeah, it's a proper working horse. As you can see, this is a pickup, that's a coupe. So the winner of this challenge will have the choice of choosing one of those prizes, the El Caballo or the Puncher. It's up to you, my friend. Now, if you are wondering how these beasts sounds and how they can actually drive, well, a true beast indeed. All the amazing details, all the proper details for a car, an antenna, like everything, indicators, exhaust, fuel filler cap, everything, the lines, the headlights, everything, license plate holders, wipers. Very amazing engine. And if you are wondering how they can drive, well, look no more. Of course, open differential, because that's the only differential we can actually go with. I don't know if you can actually hear me or not, because the engine is super loud. So it's obviously the Top Gear test track. Well, of course, these cars are not really track cars. These cars are, they were designed to put a smile on your face, drive on the streets, and of course crash on the test track. I think choosing the Top Gear test track for these cars, I think it was a little mistake. I think, choosing the Top Gear test track for these cars. And don't worry, I'm not gonna test the cars here. I'm gonna test them in a very special place. I mean, of course, the Top Gear test track is a special place, but not really appropriate. I mean, this thing looks good, sounds good, but it doesn't really drive that good because, well, it's a muscle car. The suspension should be a little bit comfortable, a little bit sporty, and a little bit controllable. So that's why it shakes and rolls and spins the tires easily. The wheel spin on this car is, well, I'm gonna keep it a secret. It's very low, it's not really high, but it still managed to spin the tires very nicely. No ABS, of course. Look at those beautiful reversing light, classic ones. Of course, you can do a burnout easily. Alright, now this is of course the Puncher, a very good car to drive. I mean, it's not really what you call sporty, it's not really grippy, it's more like a fun car to drive. Very powerful engine, super noisy, and of course 4 on the floor manual gearbox, and I mean really a big smile on your face, smoking tires and enjoy the fun. The next car, which is the El Caballo, or the horse in Spanish, where this thing looks absolutely a beautiful thing. I mean, of course you can get the motivation of this car, the inspiration of this car. Look at those beautiful rims, classic ones, the beautiful headlights and everything, very good. But the engine here is a bit, yeah, it's a bit quiet, because people would use this car to pick up loads, and they don't want their ears to bleed all the time. And of course you can spin the tires easy. Look at it, I'm pressing the brakes and no throttle, and now easy. Look at it, because the engine is really torquey. You get all the torque at very low RPM. So that's why you can actually spin the wheels, like, look, in a very low effort. Look at it. You really don't have to drop the clutch. Just lay into it with some throttle and it will spin the tires. Alright, so as you can see, this thing has a manual locker rear differential. Not because I want to make a drift machine, of course not, but this thing it can go off-road actually. Yes, I'm not kidding, this thing is rear-wheel drive, but in Automation Game it says they love it as a utility vehicle, because this is a sport utility vehicle in 1970s. So that's why I fitted it with a manual locker rear differential, so you can absolutely have fun, maybe driving it off-road, or make it a drift missile. So yeah, if you lock the tires, it will actually be a drift missile. So the RPM is not really high because, well, it's a very torquey engine, high stroke to make a very good low-end torque. And it's not really what you call a sporty suspension. Of course, this thing likes to understeers a little bit. And yes, spinning out because because what we did here is we locked the differential, and that resulted in spinning both tires constantly at all speeds. So let's unlock it. Alright, now it's controllable, because putting a limited slip differential, for example, if it's possible, but it's not really available in 1970. I mean, look at it with open differential. This thing is a very, very fun car. And look at those tail lights down there, not on the sides as usually, it's down there on the bumper. A classic 70s or maybe 69 design. So it's up to you, my friend. Go crazy with your design. Like look up some crazy cars from the past, try to replicate them, create your own creation. It's up to you, my friend. Go crazy. And please don't copy anyone. Really, don't copy anyone. I mean, and please don't show your results. I mean, it's really fun to compare results, but not now, not in this week. After the challenge ends, yes, you can compare your notes over, after there. But right now, keep your creation secret. Surprise everyone. Surprise the viewers with your creation. Don't share pictures. Don't share results. No, because I mean, people will try to copy you. If, for example, if you are talking about your engine, as you can see, it's not really sporty. So if you are talking about the engine, people will try to copy your engine or copy your styling, or maybe do something crazy with your own creations. So yeah, keep it to yourself, my friend. Just in this week, and when the weeks finish, when the challenge finishes, say it to everyone, talk with everyone, talk about your creation, share your results, share your specs. But now, keep it a secret, my friend. Alright, so this is the El Caballo, and that's of course the Puncher. Both those cars, they drove actually weird. They drove actually in a very, very weird way on the Top Gear test track, because, well, this track was designed to put the horsepower down. You know, you're driving supercars, hatchbacks, and all the crazy grippy cars. But these cars, they are not actually track cars. These cars are for, you know, racing on the street lights. Maybe drag racing, putting a smile on your face, doing donuts, doing burnouts. I mean, that's the whole idea of a muscle car. That's the whole idea of owning a muscle car, not you know, using it on the track, because, well, it's useless on the track. The brakes, I mean, there's no ABS. You will lock the tires all the time. The gearbox, well, it's 1970s gearbox, so it's not really what you call quick shifter. And of course, the engine is a classic technology, carbureted. Yeah, it's not really what you call a track car. So of course, have fun, enjoy your time, don't rush your creation, and of course, if you like the challenge, hit that thumbs up. I want to see those likes go up in the sky. So hit that thumbs up, get subscribed, share the video if you want to share it, and of course, if you have any question, you can ask me in the comments or on Discord, because yes, you can add me right now on Discord. Also, the link in the description. Press the link, you will get added automatically on the group over there, so you can chat with everyone, submit your car for this challenge and for future challenges, and you can ask me anything about this challenge. So if you like my videos and if you want to support the channel, the link in the description below from my Patreon page. You can sign up to my Patreon page, and that will give me a motivation to do more challenges, more crazy videos, and that will of course will support the channel, you know, upgrading the channel with better equipments, and of course with more amazing support from you guys. And of course, you will get exclusive content, exclusive cars. You will get those 2 cars, you will get both of those cars if you sign up to my Patreon page. You will get both of those cars to play with to play them in your game, with of course with more crazy contents like 4K wallpapers, behind the scenes, and all these things. You can get them on my Patreon page if you sign up, of course, plus supporting the channel, and get a big thank you message from me, and they give me a big motivation to do more. Alright, so thank you so much guys for watching, and of course I will see you very, very soon with more amazing videos, you know, during this week. And of course, when the week finishes and when we reach the deadline, we will of course drive your amazing creations and see what's what. So thank you so much for watching guys, and goodbye for now, my friends.